Go straight in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
There's no cutting back now.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything for your next project. Transform everyday
Oh, I'm loving this,
spaces
bro.
into gathering places.
I'm having so much fun.
Bro, is this one of your favorite cuts to do?
Yes.
YouTube, what's going on, guys? You guys know what it is. You know what it does. It is Woods, and I'm back at it again with another haircut tutorial for you guys. And in this haircut tutorial, guys, we are doing a haircut transformation on one of my long-term clients here. He's been with me for about 3 to 4 years. So for me to do this haircut on him, man, means a lot, that I could get it on camera for you guys. But when it comes to this haircut tutorial, we go ahead and take everything down with some shears, just grabbing the hair, just because we know we're going wavelength, and just going ahead and cutting it. Then we pick out the hair just to make sure that I'm not going over any naps that may be under there at all, just so when I'm cutting everything down, everything goes smoothly. But also the third thing and final thing when it comes down to cutting down a transformation cut is watch out for those inconsistency in growth patterns, because he doesn't know what's under here. You know, he's been wearing a style for a very long time, and so now that you're cutting it down, his hair could have changed growth patterns. So just be mindful of that when going ahead and doing the cut down. So now that I went ahead and cut everything down, guys, I didn't get it on camera, but I took him to the washable and washed his hair. Just because anytime you're cutting down a large amount of hair, you want to go ahead, wash the hair, and also the water helps you manipulate the hair a little bit easier. So if he has part lines, it would help when it comes to that. Right here, we're prepping the hairline with some hairspray. I like to use the Tresemme light hold. We'll brush everything in. You see how I brush his eyebrows, just because if the eyebrows ain't brushed, why not brush them? You know, we're trying to give our client a complete experience and change his whole look, and those little things do matter. But while we let the hairline fully dry and cure, I start with the back, and I just go ahead and set my primary ball guideline in. We're just not going to fade past the occipital bone. We're going to come up off that occipital bone. If you guys do not know what that is, it's basically the bone in the back of your head. That is the bump, basically. I don't know. It's the hump in the back of your head, all right? But when it comes to this taper, we went all the way open with a no guard. Went up about 1 inch. Then we went all the way open with our 1 guard. And we basically go up about 1 inch, but then flick out right at that top. Right here, I went ahead and closed that lever though, and you start flicking at that line. It is not going to get rid of the line completely, but it does help you when you come back with the half guard, help you transition everything a little bit easier. Right here, I have my no guard all the way closed, and we're just going to go ahead and nudge at that line. Right when you nudge at that line, I bump it halfway. And you just basically are trying to flick. We're really not trying to use the lever all the way open, but if you do, where I just signaled right there, you just want to go ahead and open that lever all the way like how I did, and just make sure you're not going past that point where I signaled off. But I go ahead and close that lever with my 1 guard, and I still flick at that line. The reason why I chose to go back over it, just because I know that the wall guard system takes things a little bit shorter than the Andis guard system. So I just felt like it was smart to go ahead and just go over that area to see if there was any change, and as you guys can see, there was. But now I'm going in with that half guard all the way halfway, and just kind of getting a feel for it. And then the more you get a feel for it, go ahead and close that lever and remove that line all the way. Now that we finished the back taper, we're going to go ahead and do the around the ear nape line. I like to use the edge of my liners and basically manipulate the ear the way you need to, and kind of use those edge of your liners as a pencil. So it's easier to go ahead and get in those tight areas. And then when it comes to the nape line, you line up the darkest part at the bottom and basically connect the dots and connect to what you already did around the ear. so I was so upset I forgot to hit record for the left side of his line, but that was the highest side, so I started in the middle, worked my way to that side, and right here you just see me basically just making the line as straight as possible. After that, any hair that needs to come off needs to come off. And then when it came to the vertical bars, I chose the chomping method just because I knew exactly the darkest part of his lineup. And when it comes to his C cups, because we are doing a low taper, I go ahead and get my starting point at the top of that C cup. Then I push the sideburns in until I find a good spot, and then connect the dots with the edge of my liners. And I'm going ahead and doing the same thing on the other side. So we're going ahead and setting in our first primary ball guideline for our low taper. And I'm setting it in more like a rainbow-like shape because I need this taper to take up more room, just because it is a buzz cut still. He does not have waves, so there's nothing to grab the attention for this haircut other than the taper. So we need this taper to stand out. We need it to take up a little bit more room than your ordinary low taper. So right here I start with my lever all the way open, going up about a half an inch to maybe even an inch, if you will. Like I said, we need to bring this blend a little bit higher than how normally I would if somebody with waves. Right here I have my Andis guard, my one guard all the way open, and I'm kind of just using my corners. I do want this to be kind of the last guard I'm using, so I'm kind of just stretching this blend as I need to. But that's also why I line up first, guys. I line up first because I want to see what the finished product is going to be like. I don't want to guess when it comes to my clients' haircuts. I want to feel confident. If I need to raise up a taper, I want to see that taper gradually come together when it comes to me blending. But right here, I'm taking out that ball guideline. I have my lever all the way closed. I nudged at that line using my corners. Then I bumped it halfway, kind of flicking out, and now it's time for that magical half guard that brings everything together. Using my corners and opening and closing, the more I feel comfortable throughout this blend. Alright you guys, now it's time to go ahead and finish up this haircut. Now we're going ahead and razoring everything. When it comes to the razor, it's pretty simple, but it is tedious because if you cut somebody, you can make an expensive haircut look really cheap. So right here we keep that razor flat, stretch that skin, and kind of just take your time with it. You see me right here, just kind of getting as close to that line as I possibly can, removing that stubble. I'm also removing any of that peach fuzz. Anytime you remove peach fuzz, it gives a cleaner and smoother look. And right here is that final touch that a lot of barbers aren't going to do because it does take that little bit of extra time. But we are removing those little frizzy hairs at the top to make this haircut look a lot more laid and a lot more neat. But guys, this is pretty much the end of the cut. You guys see how my guy came in looking, man. He was tired of it. He was tired of this messy curls. He was wanting something more professional. He wanted to be taken serious, and we did that for him, guys. This is why he sat in our chair, guys. If you guys like this cut, do not forget to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Like the video if you like the video, because why don't you like the video if you like the video? But go ahead, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But guys, this is Woods, and I'm out.